Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I hate to be a drag. I don't want people to leave here. I know Donna heard the word drag and she stopped in her tracks and looked over. Donna and I had a conversation and we're not sure whether this is terracotta or diaper beige. We're not really sure. We're coming up with new color schemes as we go along. I'm Supervisor Bevan Dufty. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with all of you to celebrate this trial, this fully reversible trial to look at a new public realm in the Castro. I do want to take advantage of the microphone to say that I love my job, as you all know, and I'm thrilled that there's some great people who are seeking my job. And so I always take the opportunity to introduce. There are two individuals who are running for my seat. So first, Laura Spangen's here, who works for the PUC and is on the Democratic Central Committee. And right next to her is Scott Wiener, who's also on the Democratic Central Committee and a city attorney, and also the president of EVPA. Anybody else here running for supervisor that we know right now? Hearing none, there are two of the four candidates are here today. So I just want to take a moment and really thank and celebrate. It was said that there was a little bit of controversy moving forward to this point, and I really have learned in working in city government for many years that the great thing about debate and discussion and difference is it really gives you the opportunity to succeed. Because if we were all of one mind and sort of had a groupthink thing going, we wouldn't really ask the challenging questions. We wouldn't insist that there be an evaluation tool. We wouldn't remember that we have to consider the implications for merchants and for pedestrians and for businesses like the gas station that's here, the whole panoply of issues. And so I really am grateful that there has been a good give and take. We've had a couple of meetings with neighbors on Hartford Street. And I think that what our goal is here is to really create new, exciting public spaces in San Francisco. And I'm thrilled that they're starting here in the Castro district, because I think that we have needed more places to have a commons, more places to be together and enjoy each other in these busy days. And I think that more people and less traffic is a recipe for a great city, and I think that we can always encourage that. So I do want to take a moment and acknowledge that there is an incredible family, the city family that I speak so lovingly about, people who work for the city and county of San Francisco who've all contributed to this success. I would like to acknowledge some of our city department heads that are here. I really want to take a nod to our great director of public works who really has held hands and worked on this, Ed Riskin. I think he's just done an amazing job. It's a good thing we're friends, because I left him to the wolves at the last Hartford Street meeting. I brought my daughter, and then I used her as a shill just to go out in the backyard and just let him gnaw on him a little bit. I want to acknowledge also our great planning director and a member of the LGBT community is here. John Rame is here. And no worse for wear, despite the Muni budget battles, is our director of Muni, Nathaniel Ford, is here, who's doing a great job for us. Carter Rowan is here, who's the head of capital and planning for the Muni. And they have cast their net far and wide. So let me also acknowledge Amit Ghosh is here, who's the planning director for Muni. Next to him is Dean Macris, the former planning director, a man with whom I always flirt. And then I want to acknowledge that Timothy Papandreou is the new deputy director of planning, who's also a member of the LGBT community and has come here by way of Australia and Los Angeles. So we're thrilled to have him here. I want to acknowledge Isabel Wade is here from the Neighborhood Parks Council, which is great. They're really happy to see public space. I know Bon Yi is here. I call him the traffic god. Bon Yi is here from the Department of Parking and Traffic. We love Bon. And a lot of his great team is here. David Allenbaugh is here from the Planning Department. The Planning Department has been very involved in planning new intersections. Anne-Marie Rogers is here from the Planning Department and also a neighbor of this project. And I'm going to acknowledge some more folks, but I think I should bring up someone who is extremely excited to be here. We always love having him in this community. He is much loved and appreciated within the Castro. Our great mayor, Gavin Newsom.
Thanks, Supervisor. Thank you all. I didn't expect this kind of turnout out here, so congratulations. However, you're making an excuse not being at work. Good luck and congratulations on whatever you came up with. But I'm honored that you all took the time to be here. I know that many of you have been talking about this for, I've been in elected office, I think 13, 14 years, so it's been at least 13 or 14 years that I started to familiarize myself with the desire for some of you to do exactly what we finally have done today. I know formally it's been at least a decade since community groups came together and talked about converting this pavement into a plaza. Many of you have traveled the world and you've seen what other countries have done and what they've achieved. We have a sister city in Zurich, for example, and every time I go to Zurich, I get a little frustrated when I get back home because I don't necessarily see the organized coordination in terms of public transit in the public realm and the beautification all coming together in a seamless way that I know is achievable. And so when we finally organized a few months back a framework to actually put this together, and we got the support through those many community meetings, and I know that you had 100+ people turn out pretty consistently at those community meetings, and you were willing to actually organize this pilot. I knew finally we can get to a point where we can demonstrate that San Francisco can do more and do better, and that we can make this a project that can be scaled to other parts of the city. And that's really what's at stake. If we're successful here, if over the course of the next 60 days you're willing to extend this for an additional 120 days, if the community that includes not just residents but includes the business owners and includes visitors all agree that this works, and the transit riders and activists all agree that this works, then we look forward to bringing this to other parts of the city. We have 3 specific proposals already underway, and I just want to briefly reference those 3 proposals. One is the intersection of 8th and 16th in the Lower Potrero, where we're going to be going next, and then at Naples Green in the Excelsior District, where we'll be going right after that, and then the intersection of San Jose and Guerrero. We've been working with their district supervisors, and Supervisor Dufty, of course, his district includes one of them, and we have support for the concept. So those will be the next 3. So we'll have 4 anchor projects all happening in reasonable space of time in a parallel. And then the idea is, if those are successful and we can make these temporary more permanent, of course you see these ballards are all on skateboards, so we can simply unlock and roll them away. So emergency vehicles come down, you can quickly roll them away. If people are dissatisfied and they don't like the way they look or where they're positioned, we can move them quickly. But if ultimately you all agree, then we want to roll this out throughout the city and county of San Francisco. We've got 9 additional locations that we've identified that we think are ideal for this program. I refer to it often as we do our Sunday streets, which we had another successful Sunday streets closure on Sunday, is really democratizing this public realm and the street realm, and looking differently in terms of our public space, not just open space and parks and recreation facilities, but open space in terms of taking back these pavement and converting them into plazas. I want to thank in particular Astrid Hayardi. Astrid, who's somewhere, there she is. I'll close with this. I was just in Chicago 3 days ago. I see Dean Macris here, and Dean and I talk about Chicago a lot. Of course, Dean's experience there for years and years, their architecture, but the remarkable job they've done planning their public spaces. I want to note, though, I traveled a lot more in Chicago this time. I know how Mayor Daley does it. He gets a few key corridors, and those are the corridors that 90% of the time you're on and you say, my God, this city's perfect. But if you go 2 or 3 blocks, it starts looking very, very different. So I felt a little better the more I travel. But nonetheless, if you go down Michigan Avenue, you just sit there and go, my gosh, why aren't we doing that with those beautiful tulips that were out there last week and that were blooming, etc. But we decided to look at how they were doing it a little bit differently. Instead of just looking at the plans and the scope, we actually decided to steal the person that was implementing these ideas, and that was Astrid. So she's now moved from Chicago, and she's here. So there's no excuse, Astrid, to finally delivering on this vision and these promises. I want to just piggyback one in very brief closing to also thank Ed Reeskin and his team at DPW Planning Department, to see him working so closely with John Ram, and to see them working closely with Nat Ford and and Muni, to see all these departments candidly organized in this kind of collaborative is a wonderful thing. Look, this took 72 hours. Took 17 years of planning, 72 hours to install. It's not that complex. We can be doing a lot more of this in a much quicker pattern and a quicker way if you again adopt and embrace this proposal. So we are counting on all of you. Thank you all very much for coming up.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I neglected to acknowledge that Mr. Clean is here. Where's Mohammed Nuru, who makes it all happen all over the city? Where's Mohammed? Where's Mohammed? Well, he's up there. Okay. He's probably scraping that pole. And then Rich Bridingham is here. Rich? So could everybody who's been involved, Rich was sort of the leader of the crew that was out here. I know there's some other crew folks, there's some people from DPW. If you were involved in the past 72 hours, if you could put your hand up, folks from the planning department helping to make this happen. I know many of you guys were here. I just want people to thank it. I certainly want to point out that Abigail Kiefer is here from the planning department, and she led with Sarah Dennis the upper market planning process. And I neglected, if you see Mario Montoya, where's Mario? Mario's in the back. He's our coordinator for DPW Street Environmental Services, so you see him around all the time in his snazzy yellow blazer. So I want to say we have the best merchant association anywhere in the city with the Merchants of Upper Market in Castro, and we're so grateful for all their work over many years. Steve Adams is here as the president of the merchants, and also working for Sterling Bank. And part of the work of Mumsy led to the creation of the Castro Community Benefit District. And Herb Cohn, my good friend who's just stepped down as president of the CBD, is here. And I want to bring up Andrea Aiello. She's the executive director of the CBD, which is doing the cleaning, the greening, the security. It's going to be a major component of ensuring that this is wonderful, vibrant public space. Mary McHugh, who is with MJM Management, which does the actual servicing of the CBD work, has had tremendous experience both at Yerba Buena and Union Square, and so we're committed to put all their talent, all their ability, and Andrea stays up at night redesigning some of our intersections so we can have a safer, better Castro community. So Andrea Aiello, CBD Director.
Thank you, Gavin. Good morning, everyone. It's so exciting to be here and to see all of you and to see this new, revived place that is being taken over by pedestrians. I want to just say that the Castro Upper Market Community Benefit District is really very excited about this. And the sun is out. It's just a good omen. We're going to have a great warm weekend here in the Castro. The merchants are having a sidewalk sale here on Saturday. The CBD will be activating this space. There's chairs. People can sit in the Castro for once. You'll be shopping. You'll be able to sit on these wonderful granite benches, on the chairs and tables, have a cup of coffee, and chat with your friends while you're shopping. But none of this would have been possible without the fantastic leadership of lots of our elected officials in San Francisco. And the Castro Upper Market CBD would really like to thank Mayor Gavin Newsom first and foremost for having the vision in creating the Pavement to Parks program. We'd also really like to thank our wonderful supervisor for District 8, Supervisor Bevan Dufty. Without Supervisor Dufty's support and leadership on this project, this never would have even started, no less have been completed. We'd also really like to thank Ed Riskin, who is San Francisco's Director of DPW, whose gentle guidance and perseverance kept this project on track even during some very rocky weeks. I'd also like to thank MTA and DPT. The leadership there was incredibly flexible and willing to experiment, and if it wasn't for that attitude, again, this project never would have happened. The planning department was incredible. They put tons and tons of hours into this project. We also had support from Public Architecture, who designed this space. And last but not least, we would all really like to thank all the community members who care so much about this neighborhood, that they attend community meetings, weekends, evenings, their own time to make sure that this community works and is better, and to make sure that their voices are heard. This plaza was created because we heard those voices. Please use this plaza. It's your public space. And again, to the city agencies and to all those community members, the CBD looks forward to our continued collaboration as we work together to make this plaza a real success and a model for future public spaces in San Francisco. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrea. I neglected to point out that our Director of the Art Commission is here. Luis Cancel is here. Luis, give us a hand. And I guess I should point out now, this coming Sunday, the Art Commission is having a meeting at EVRC. Many of you know that back in 2000, there was an international design competition that wasn't really grounded in either where there was money or whether we could actually do it. But the winner of that competition had a concept of creating pink clouds that would be over this intersection. And so we are considering a feasibility look at whether this could actually happen, and it looks like it could happen. And so there is a meeting this Sunday at 3 o'clock. We'll update you on it, but if you see pink clouds here next week, don't be surprised, okay? And I want to acknowledge Zabe Bent is here representing the Transportation Authority, which is a sales tax agency, and she has colleagues that are here. Next, I want to welcome up Scott Wiener, who's the president of the Eureka Valley Promotion Association, which went on record right away in supporting this trial. Scott.
Thank you, Gavin. I also just want to thank, again, I'm Scott Wiener. I'm the president of the Eureka Valley Promotion Association, which is the neighborhood association for the Castro Upper Market neighborhood. And I want to thank Mayor Newsom and Supervisor Dufty and the CBD for the leadership and vision that they've shown in making this plaza a reality. And I also want to second Andrea's compliment of Director Ed Riskin for really taking a lot of heat from some of the neighbors about this project and being completely responsive and non-defensive and productive, and just a great public servant. And I also want to acknowledge some of the people like Joe Curtin who have been pushing and advocating for this idea for more than a decade. This is not a new idea. This is a long-term dream. The difference between a good neighborhood and a great neighborhood is the amount and the quality of public spaces in that neighborhood. Public spaces allow neighbors to get to know their neighbors. Public spaces allow communities to organize. Public spaces increase everyone's quality of life. Public spaces allow us to have music and art and entertainment in the public realm. And public spaces increase safety by calming traffic and giving pedestrians a better way to get around. We are going to revolutionize the public spaces in the Castro. We now have this plaza, this terrific plaza. Thanks to the hard work of MUMSI, the Merchants Association, and Steve Adams, we now have a farmer's market every week on Noe Street. We are going one day to fix Harvey Milk Plaza and transform it into the world-class plaza that it should be. We're going to widen the sidewalks on Castro Street and put pedestrian bulb outs there. We are going to turn this neighborhood into the open and inviting and public place that it has always strived to be. Thank you very much.
And if you notice that Nathaniel Ford hasn't taken off his sunglasses and looks surly, it's because we have the Harvey Milk 1051 car here, and it's now late. It was only supposed to wait here for 10 minutes, and he's mad because he's into this on-time performance thing, which we're all about. So I'd like to welcome up, to be acknowledged, John Peterson, who is the founder of Public Architecture. If John could step forward, I think some members of his team, Liz Ogbu, Laura Gerard, Mike Murphy, and Lola Fire, they are the people that did the pro bono design assistance. They're a national leader in promoting a 1% set aside for positive community change through public interest design initiatives. So is John is right here, so please give him a lot of love for his work. Flora Grub Gardens provided discounted and donated plant materials. It will soon be a drag name. So is Flora Grub Gardens here, anybody, any chance? Wait till Miss Tranny Shack. Okay, High Caliber Growing donated biodegradable inner pots, which I thought were cardboard, but they're not. I tapped them. They're harder. Pacific Fiber Tube. Jack Falstaff, which has no relationship with Gavin Newsom, donated dining chairs that are here. And I see James Ormsby, who was the first chef at Falstaff here. The Chevron station. Is Dave Sahagan here? Any either Sahagan brothers here? Where are they? Dave's brother Pat is here. We love the Sahagan family. They own the Chevron station. They gave up an entrance to their gas station. He doesn't look the happiest. Give me a smile. Say you're okay with it, all right? Okay, you know the Chevron's making all the money. They're not. They squeeze them all the time. So spend your money with the Sahagans. I buy all my gas here. Kit Hodge is here. Kit has been active in the DuBose Triangle Neighborhood Association, and she's now working with Leah Sham, my great friend from the Bicycle Coalition, and Kit is leading the Great Streets Project for the Bicycle Coalition. And next, our next speaker is going to be a leader in the parks and public space movement, our own Isabel Wade from District 8, who is a Neighborhood Parks Council president and founder.
It really is exciting for a group that advocates for open space around the city to be here at the opening of the first of, as you heard the mayor, 4 new public plazas in San Francisco. Part of the reason it's so important is not just the obvious aesthetic value that this improvement is going to contribute to the neighborhood and the city, but really what open space can do in terms of building community. I think that's what will be an interesting experiment here this summer. And I think you're going to see it will be a grand success. And we hope that the 4 planned plazas actually sprout into many, many more public spaces like this that we reclaim for the public. We need to have our city be very much greener and much more people-friendly than many of the spaces are now. I do want to say that thank you. I do want to say we have to remember to keep our vision that every neighborhood should have green spaces. Plazas are not green necessarily. They're an addition, but they're not where you're going to fly a kite and throw a frisbee. So we have many neighborhoods that still need to become greener, and we really appreciate that the mayor and our mayor's office of greening have really focused on this and have shown their leadership since Mayor Newsom has been in. So we want to encourage everybody to send their ideas for new open spaces, both green and plazas, to the city, to Neighborhood Parks Council, so we can really spawn a whole creative spurt of greening around the city. Thank you all for being here and for the leadership today.
Thank you, Isabel. All right, some of the top issues that have been asked about this plaza involve safety and homelessness. So I can't not acknowledge Dariush Kahan, who's the mayor's homeless advisor, the architect of the Housing First program. And Dara and the homeless outreach team are going to be very active to make sure that we're helping people. And then Captain Steve Tacchini, the commanding officer of Mission Station, is here. And Captain Tacchini is putting together a plan and resources to make sure you know I'm the guy in blue over there. And I want to mention that Luis Cancel from the Art Commission pointed out that we have 5 street artists, and 3 of them are from District 8, from the community here, with art for sale, and Howard Lazar of the Street Artist Program made that happen, so I want to acknowledge him. So I want to bring up now, Reese Isbell is here. As you always know, I never have a proclamation, but that's Senator Mark Leno. He's never without one. It's amazing to me how capable he is. And what I thought is if I could ask if Reese could present the certificate today to Ed Riskin from DPW and Andrea Aiello, who've really done so much to make this happen. So if they could come up and receive this from Reese.
Thank you. Good morning. Senator Leno is in Sacramento today, and obviously we are dealing with a national recession and a statewide budget crisis, and the senator is working hard on what we can do in Sacramento to monitor that and make it better. And the reason I mention that is because it is projects like this where we are using recycled materials, where the community is coming out and working together voluntarily with donations and materials that we are looking for and excited about innovative ideas for the community. And so I want to thank everyone who has been involved with this program on behalf of Senator Leno, and also present this proclamation from the Senator for the new plaza.
Thank you.
You did it already? All right, have I missed anybody? Is there anybody I haven't gotten to? I'll come shake your hand. Come have a great time. This is a wonderful day for the neighborhood. Thanks everybody for being here, and let's enjoy this space and make it wonderful. Thank you so much. Woo-woo!